Are we back? Does it work? Holy shit. Test back. Insane. All right, where was I? Well, they're a little cold now, but they're pretty good. All right. As I was saying, before OBS cooked itself, show us your bowl. Okay. Update 42. I've not even looked at any changes. I have no idea about anything other than the fact that apparently you can make cash money, but we don't care about any of this. Accolades, player share revenue, none of this matters. New awesome hero skin, don't care. Map, well, we could look at it. Oh fuck, this is gonna, oh, it's good, okay. Castle Revenge. I don't have Sandbox unlocked. I don't even know what's happening. Is this real? Okay, water me there. Sightline me. Okay. This just looks ass to race on. What are you doing? Your entire shit is split. What is even a start? Is this range bigger? There's no way this was the default range. Maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, I'll definitely give my thoughts on Tim Sheehy. Yeah, I don't know, this map is cooked for races. I don't even know what you do. I mean, this is kind of working. Just like miracle jug bounces. Park a male in the middle, park a Roth right here. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like it's full, I'm gonna be honest. Or I guess you could do this. What, does this reach? Ooh. Okay, that was a good game. Okay. New quests. Don't think we really care. New trophy items. Don't think we really care. CT Team Store. Big map editor. Map search is now available for co-op lobby map selection. Gizmos are now influenced by challenge editor. Come on, give me some good stuff here. Stuff is unlocked later, okay? None of this matters. PC players request to have many niche things hotkeyed, but unfortunately these are often too niche for us to take up valuable real estate with limited key space. To enable players to take this into their own hands, we have added a new advanced section of default unbound hotkeys. Holy shit. Merge Beast. Quick restart. Tower panel inventory. Clear balloons, clear towers. Cooldowns. Is any of this useful? Oh, this is Geraldo shit. I mean, it's good. What is the only thing that matters on Geraldo? I don't want this skin. Yeah, can we upgrade here? Alright, we have... This is pretty much... I mean, this is useful. And this is useful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? 6, maybe? 2... Is this doing something? What is back button currently? Nothing. Oh. I don't know why. Camelpot. I mean, okay. Okay, I mean... That's pretty useful because you only need 2 items. Maybe... NFT. That's basically it. So... Okay, okay. Sure. Actually useful change for races. Big. I mean, I feel like this is a boss player change more than anything, but... Sure. Cycling upgrade menus and challenges now skips. Okay. Quests, who cares? Bug fixes. No race bug fixes. Do I care about looking at any of this? Not really. Not really. Specific changes. None of this matters, right? We don't care. No. No. Don't care. Platform-specific fixes. Alternate send round hotkey now sends round in sandbox. Okay. Meat and potatoes, let's go. Do I have to read the fucking intro dialogue? No. Spikeable range increased. Ah, I'm not crazy. 32 to 36, sure. Actually kind of big. Because, a lot of times you put... A pink would come here. Because this thing shoots so slow, it would get to here, and then your spolt, like, fucking targets this way. And you miss the entire pierce being used. Wait, is that actually... Yeah, because it would target more back here instead of this pink that runs through. Jug remains, sure. So, I mean, whatever. Mob Assassin follows target priority. Maybe useful for races, sure. Blitz price reduced by 7k. Ooh. Oh, this was... No, this was... Rohan did say... Is that one of the things? Right, okay, this is the Blitz price reduction. Good. The high end of what he wanted to change it to, but that's still pretty good. Attack cooldown reduced. Damage reduced. No longer deals bonus damage to fortified. Is this actually a buff? In chimps? If it's this cut down? Why is phase cam on? quick restart. One of those quick restarters. Chimps players are molding about the Blitz change. I mean, it looks like it's bad. But in everything else, I feel like it's better. Obviously, in races, it's way better. Because as long as this... Like, the only thing you give a shit about Blitz is if it beats, like, initial Moabs. Like, that's all you care about. If it beats initial Ceramics and Moabs, doesn't get Pierce capped, then the ability goes off and the screen wipes. Yeah. Yeah, I went the crosspath because it's that. I mean, you can literally do this and probably be fine. But, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's good changes for races. Maybe you see more Blitz action. Because it is a nice tower. I like it. I like the, it's super cheap. Basically, Blade Lord price now. Ice. Blitz doesn't pop blacks. Yeah, they changed it a while ago. Which is obviously bad, but I like it. I am always on the train. I am always on the crusade of every tier 5 tower in the game should not be normal, okay? Here's another hot take. Shredder should probably be sharp. Why the fuck is this normal? It's darts. Anything with a dart? I mean, this could be normal, but this... No reason for it to be. This should be sharp. Decrease the price, whatever. Have Chimps players mauled. I don't know if this tower is even good anymore. What else should be changed? Yeah, this should stay black. This should stay oh, this is normal, right? This should be gone. Why is this normal? This should be sharp, shatter, who cares? Not normal. What else? Yeah, that's my hot take. Okay. Brittle attack cooldown. Cool. We've never used that tower. Well, we've used it once, but who cares? Sniper. Bouncing bullet price reduction. Supply drop price increase. Sure. Energizer, main dart attack damaged. Sure, we're gonna be unsubmerging our Energizer. Monkey Buck. Aircraft carrier damage over time. Carrier flagship damage over time. Why am I so off-centered? Because I'm leaning left. Sure. Cannon ship main dart attack disabled. Real shit? Give me some action here. Huh, real shit. I mean, that is just a nerf. I don't know why. Oh, damage increased from 1 to 2. Sure. This is probably just a net DPS increase in races. Sure. Biggest one being explosive is fine. Yeah, I agree. It should be, it's fine. Listen, okay, not everything in the game means normal. Playing 30 plus K for recursive with like 2 more damage. I think playing off recursive's ability to, like, recursive has the special ability of, like, wiping the screen. Well, not wiping the screen, but you should play into that more, right? We don't need to just, like, buff it so it's, like, an okay damage, okay pierce, okay, like, everything, right? Lean into its ability. And if it is mediocre on chimps, then who cares, right? If it's good on boss or CT or race, that's fine, right? Not everything needs to be S tier in chimps. And there needs to be more, like, cool ability play around shit, like this and Elite Defender. But, I mean, you could also... It needs to be, like, the base still needs to be okay and good. It can't just be, like, complete garbage, and then your entire focus is on the ability. It needs to have some balance. Helps with the alk buff because the darts won't waste. True. It's true. Blade Evolution, I have camo. Listen, I'll take in CT consideration, but like, nobody really plays CT. And if they do, there's like 2 race tiles per event that are like banners, right? Like we're like the minority of a minority of a minority of a game mode in BGD6. Like, where were we? Buck, grape damage, good shit. Pirates grape damage increased. Pirates increased. Favorite trades damage. Sure. Heli, special pop downdraft attack reduced. Sure. Comanche, price increased. Damn, this was meta in chimps? 3k price? Nerf? I had no idea. Mortar, heavy shells burn damage, overtime increase. Really? Really? Really now? I don't hate this tower. If you're telling me you get full everything, I mean, we're talking lead. Okay, we don't have camo, but like lead, every other balloon. What are we comparing this to? 1984? Literally, 1984. What is like in this price range? I mean, this is obviously what we would compare it to, right? Shit's more expensive. I mean, I'm feeling like this is a good change. Like, obviously this is not representative of a race. Because you have more than just rainbows in a race. Like, you're gonna be hitting reds, blues, a bunch of garbage, right? And yeah, it's not like, yeah. But it looks good. It looks good in this scenario. I have no idea if it's actually good. Burn damage over time. Okay. Okay, this might be meta. Because in theory what you would do is you would just constantly, all you need to do is proc the first bit, have it immediately move out of the way, so it doesn't take up Pierce, and then have the DOT take care of the rest, right? It feels like this should be better in races than this cross path now. But practically, I don't know if that's true. Because you wouldn't... I mean, you sometimes take this for the Moab damage. But you really just want it for the ability. But also to survive until you get the ability. And then you pop the ability, and then you probably buy something that's better. $25 Pierce is extremely low. It's true. Yeah, the re-hitting the burn balloons is also, like, if you could guarantee me that this would never re-hit burn balloons, great. But practically, I don't think that's ever happening. And also, it has no Pierce. Five years younger? I've also been working out. It's actually kind of a stark difference in, like, face shape between now and, like, 3 months ago. Okay, yeah, maybe, who knows, Mortar might be insane or cooked. 052, popping out burn damage over time. Sure. Wizard. Fucking hell, they keep touching this path. This has got to be the most touched path in the game. Mid path, I mean, I'm trying to think, what is more touched? Deep breath. Damage over time, 1 to 2. Breath attack now fires 2 projectiles. Huh? Breath attack pierce reduced. Get some info on this. I don't know what's happening. This just looks like one projectile. Oh, because I didn't... It still looks like one projectile, so get fucked. I don't know. It looks like nothing has changed. Deep breath, attack damage. I mean, we'd never get this in a race. Super Monkey. We lower the price of tech terrors to keep them unchanged. Robo price increased. 500 bucks. Tech Terror no longer slightly increases attack speed. I didn't even know it did that, I'm gonna be honest. Price increase from 18 to 25,000. Holy shit. What the fuck were you guys doing with Tech Terror on chimps? What was cooking up over there? You ruined it for races. This is like actually huge. Like a 7k price increase for a round 65 race? You're killing me out here, man. If it's a 65 race and all you have is Tech Terror clean, you're not getting that shit. I'm sorry. Maybe if it's like 67, 68, but... Was it actually insane in chimps? I knew it was like good, but... What was the synergy? Synergy was itself. Interesting. Anti-balloon price reduced. No, I'm not molding. I'm just curious what necessitated it being changed that much. Ninja. This is, I mean, I can just skip over this, right? I mean, when are we ever doing any of this? Flash, sticky, sticky. I mean, I guess I could read them. Deal more damage to stun balloons. Okay, this is useless. Maybe this is insane, I don't know. Looks useless though. Alchemist. Berserker Brew price increased by 50 bucks. Okay. I guess if you need this for like round 40 on chimps, and you can't anymore because of $50, sure. Stronger stim price reduced. Cool. Druid. Uh-oh, I see General's Bounty. What happened? It just triggers. Okay. Central price increased. Really? I guess it was... I mean, you always get it in bosses, so sure. Cooldown reduced. Right. Right. You're gonna tell me that this has now been doubled in price. Beast Handler. I still don't know what any of this tower does, I'm gonna be honest. Price reduced. Price increased. Price reduced. Price increased. Price reduced. Price increased. I'm sure there's a lot of great stuff in here. Hero Balance. Quincy. Form of arrows deals bonus damage to ceramics. Cool. Gwen. Level 4 heated up now has a Pierce of 100. Why? Gwen's attack rate levels no longer reduce heated up frequency. Heated up damage increased. Oh. I guess. I mean, I don't think we were hitting... We don't need the heated up in races. It's not like that's a big deal. I mean, I'll be honest. Damage increased. Damage increased. Yeah, I mean, sure. It doesn't affect races, but... Oben. Level 3 Brambles cooldown reduced. Duration increased. This is just a spike factory, man. You just turn him into a spike factory. I guess. Range buff for X3X druids increased. Level 5 gives a range buff for X3X druids? In what universe? Okay. Why? Okay. Oh, this fucking game, man. Benjamin. Level 1 cash generation reduced. Level 2 cash generation reduced. Wasn't Ben already outclassed by Geraldo, or am I crazy? Not on like pure farming, but like Geraldo was like slightly worse, and he had like 20 other benefits. Well, I mean, I have no idea what any meta is in boss or wherever Benjamin is used. Do you like the direction BTD6 updates going? I mean, I don't know. I don't know the difference between update 42 and like update 25. Like, I don't know what core differences are there. I mean, they're doing a lot of community stuff. Like, they're probably ramping up the start of not updating the game within the coming years, right? Let the community have a foundation in place where the community does everything, which is like fine, that's good. But you're seeing with the accolade system, the custom map features, modding. I mean, that's fine, but it is different direction that they take it. And then obviously the very cookie cutter like paragons and stuff, right? But I mean, they're also doing balance still. They're doing apparently there's a new game mode at some point, so now he's even more power crept by Jerry. Has race ever changed, or has it just been the balance changes after balance changes? In my opinion, there's been only ever 2 major race changes ever that like fundamentally changed races. One was the round send timer, where there was a 0.2 second delay between each sent round. Because obviously like 99% of players it didn't affect, but for obviously top 3 that was like hugely like hotly contested debate on auto clickers, and that whole era was like just degenerate stuff. And then 2 is, what is 2? What was the other massive change? I'm cooked if I can't remember. Projectiles not disappearing? I mean, that was like a big bug fix, but I don't think that was like fundamentally like massive, right? Pause penalty, of course. Pause penalty, yeah. I think those 2 are like, yeah. I think NK was like, I'm gonna be honest, most of NK's game modes are flawed. CT is pretty flawed. Odyssey is not really flawed, but it's just, well, it's kind of flawed. It's like, okay, it's mediocre, kind of boring. Boss is flawed in the sense that, like, the engine itself is dog shit at handling what boss players do on, like, the 3rd and 4th and 5th boss. I don't think the game mode itself is, like, that flawed, but it's still not, like, insane. I think when they released races, they somehow just, like, hit the perfect spot on everything. Like, they just got it right the first time they released it, and it was perfect. They didn't have to change anything. Well, they changed a couple things, but, like, the fundamentals of it were, like, S tier, right? And obviously they don't change their game modes after they release them most of the time. CT gets, like, some slight changes, but, like, the core, like, leaderboards of CT are the same. The core way that boss works are the same, right? So, I think they just got lucky on races being as good as they were. And it hasn't, like, fundamentally changed. But, obviously, the 2 big updates being pause penalty and the timer being, like, nice additions. Watch cell was way bigger than pause penalty. I don't like to put, like, one tower, like, affecting it that much. Like, yeah, WAF was, like, probably the most broken tower in the history of the game. But, like, I don't think I can put that on like a tower being changed equals races are fundamentally changed, right? That's like it obviously was big, but I mean like core gameplay changes. Race pass. I feel like the race pass was honestly like a step backwards, but that's debatable, I guess. Boss needs 1 boss per week, not 2. I've already went over like the whole boss issues, but like the fact there's like 20 different leaderboards, includes co-op in them. Like there's 20 different medals per event. Like it's just there's no event, is there? Yeah, it's cooked. CT still more popular than Battles 2? Probably. Battles 2 has like what 800 concurrent. Hey bro said races were perfect when it came out. But yeah, the fundamental gameplay of races, like obviously there was issues, but like the core concept of a race was like solid. It was good versus like Odyssey, bosses. Like out of all of the game modes that they've released in BTD6, races at the core are like the best. And I'm biased, but like races were stolen from a BTD5 spin-off? Really? I didn't know that. Oh, was it BTDX? I've heard of it, but I never played it. They always charge monkey money for racing? Yeah, it was always 100 flat charge. That is probably the one thing that they fumbled the bag on, was it costing $100. Like, you just stunt the growth of the game mode. Like, I talked to Rohan about this a while ago, and his reasoning was people are gonna, like, fill up monkey money and not have anything to spend it on. Which, I can kind of see that, but then you look at bosses, and to me, bosses are, like, a casual player playing a boss spends what? Well, I'm gonna say on average, they're spending way less than on a race if they want to put in a similar amount of time to both, right? If I want to play a boss for 2 hours versus a race for 2 hours, I'm spending considerably less amount of money on the boss than a race. I might restart once or twice as a casual, but on races, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, I don't know, maybe I'm out of touch, but it seems like the scaling, at least on the casual side, for monkey money spent is skewed way in favor of bosses. Now, obviously, I think boss players recently got, like, ass mad because... Well, not mad, but, like... They had to spend, like, a lot of money because they need, like, a pixel-perfect kill, and then they would die and then restart on, like, the last phase, and then die and then restart. But I'm talking about, like, growing the game casually, like, getting people into the game modes. Just hurt races way more. Having the barrier of like $100. Anyone saw the solar eclipse? I wish. Like race pass is making NK less money. Race pass encourage harder RNG grind. Yeah, so that's the one thing that they screwed up on. Which, I mean, even if it was 50, I think that'd be fair. 50 is fine. But they can never go back. It's been 100 for, what, 3, 4, 5 years, so... I mean, it's 90 with the MK, but... I don't even know where this MK is. Boss is insanely more popular than race. I wonder if that's true. Race destroys boss and player count. If I had to guess, I would say bosses are probably more popular. It just seems like it'd be way more popular than races. Yeah, like ranked boss versus just races. Probably less engagement. Well, I don't know if that's true. The weird thing about race is that I think most people that race probably play like 2 runs, and whatever their first run is, it's done, right? Like, you're done. So, like, you played the race, but you didn't really play the race. Like, you didn't try to improve, you didn't try to, like, refine a strategy. You just played it, and then, you know, you're like, okay, I got a time, that's cool. I don't want to spend more monkey money, right? Give me my rewards. Whereas I think boss is like, you're much more involved. You're going through a whole run, and even if it's just one run, like, you're playing the boss. You've played it for 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, however long casuals take to beat a boss, right? So in that sense, I think boss is more casually appealing and more popular. Definitely on YouTube, at least. Like, even if the race player count has like 100k, that's not really, I don't know if that's 100k people really playing the race. There was 100,000 entries into the race, but there wasn't, like, you know, engagement in the race. Race is just as easy as a daily challenge. Yeah, I think that's how a lot of people play it. They just send like 2 rounds every minute. They get done, they get like a 10-minute time, and they're like, alright, cool, next, right? And then they're like, alright, here's the boss. Let's devote in my entire Sunday to beating this boss, right? And it just makes sense, because a boss is more engaging to casuals, I would assume. You can sit down, have a cup of coffee, put a YouTube video on the side, right? Versus a race, it's like, alright, let's just be degenerate and go super hardcore mode if you're on the high end. But I guess that's true for boss too. Two rounds every minute equals 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a very short, very short race. Round 20 race. What is the shortest race we've ever had? Round 30? Yeah, boss is definitely more popular on the unranked. I'm not slandering boss. I'm just saying, you know. Unranked and ranked boss are 2 different game modes. You know how to play the game, you will never spend monkey money on it. Yeah. If you're just getting top 50, like at the highest level that isn't top 1, 2, or 3 on any of the events, you don't need to spend a single dollar, really. You can get top 50. I mean, you could, if you're good enough, you get top 50 without any entries, right? Or you just use your free entries. Same with, I would assume boss. Well, definitely boss. Races feel like a waste of monkey money for most people. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, I feel like that's how most people engage with races. They're like, eh, I guess. Rather than like, oh, cool, a race, right? Ranked boss is unpopular because the monkey money cost. It's crazy to see boss players coming around to what race players have been complaining about for like years, right? Oh, the monkey money cost is too high to restart. Well, we're living in our world now. Yeah, I'll analyze the race. What did we even finish? What are we ranting about? Benjamin. We got on a huge Bosch rant about just Benjamin. Level 11 generation increased. I mean, this makes sense. He was literally useless past like level 2. Oh, that's not true, but he was pretty useless late game. But this seems unnecessary. Main attack can now decamo DDTs. Cool. Level 3 haste cost reduced. I don't know any of this. Oh god, there's so much shit of his. I'm not even gonna read it. I don't know what he does, and I don't care. Relic Knowledge Balance. Wow, they're actually balancing CT. Hero boost. XP multiplier increased. Broken Heart. Bonus damage to regrow. Going the distance. Range bonus increased. Fortified. Bonus damage to fortified increased. Restoration. Maximum barrier reduced. You want to do more with relics in the future? Oh, sure. Well, that was pretty... I mean... a little underwhelming. The races, at least. I mean, what even changed? Tectera got shafted. Maybe... cross-pathing Mortar. People are spending monkey money because of a skill issue in bosses? I feel like the boss players would get pretty mad at you for saying that. I mean, if you're super optimizing, I can see why it would be rough. Why nerf Ben early game though? Not like he was better than Geraldo for early income? Yeah, that's what my understanding was. Like, even not playing bosses, I always assumed that Ben was slightly better than Geraldo, but you got so much more other benefit with Geraldo that it was still worth taking him over Ben, right? Because Ben basically does nothing for you late game, and he could actively hurt you with Trojan. Whereas with Geraldo, it's like, okay, here's fucking everything for later on, right? Geraldo was worse for early income? Yeah, I assumed that. LC, LT, and races? Listen, man. Where's that document at? Oh, I'm never gonna find this on there. What account was it on? Where have I posted this doc before? Well, that was one of the suggestions. Surely it'll get implemented, right? One day. Here's the thing. I'm going to give some insider info. I was assuming that races were going to be changed. Well, I was hoping they would be changed so that any hero would be selectable on the race screen. So it'd work exactly like bosses, right? They can set a certain amount of heroes, either all of them, none of them, or 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, right? That you can pick before going in. So it's no longer like all or nothing. It's not. You can only use Gwen or you can use every hero. So that you would have more variety in your choices, right? Like Gwen could be banned, Geraldo could be banned, Sada could be banned, but then you just have like every other like mid-tier to low-tier hero to work with. And it sounded like Rohan was on board, but it's to be determined if that actually made it in this update. We'll see. You would have thought that it would have been mentioned somewhere, but maybe. I think the reason it was only in those game modes is because of the menu selection screen. So basically, when you go into Odyssey, it's like a completely different UI, right? It's a completely different GUI. Same thing for boss, same thing for CT. But with race, the selection screen was like races was the first game mode to be implemented. And the way they did it was they just had it overlaid on top of the main menu, right? So long story short, I don't know. Like, the way they implemented it was not easy to just add that screen in. is my understanding. Not 100%, don't take my word for it, but that's the vibe I get from why it was like that. And then they just never bothered to change it because it's racist. What's even the best race hero at this point? I mean, it still has to be Gwen. I don't know. Like, it still has to be Gwen. The early in races just matter so much. Even getting the first 21 rounds out instantly, it's just so nice. It's so nice not to have to wait. Like, think about it. Think about a Spolt start versus a Gwen start, right? You send out 13 rounds and you have to wait. You're waiting 10 seconds, 15 seconds until you get what? Like a Druid, a Waff, a mid-path tack. Gwen is like, you just send 21. You've shaved off like 15 seconds. Like just right there. Yeah, like yeah. Gwen could be nerfed even more and probably still be, well, I don't want to say that much, but like Ben is nice, Geraldo's nice, but Geraldo doesn't help you early. Ben helps you kind of early, but you still have to get through early enough to get a tower down to then put Ben down to then exponentially grow. But yeah, I mean, it has to be Gwen. Gwen over Sada with MK and Selling? Yeah. I think Sada is better. Without MK, maybe. They mentioned that there was another change this update that would be revealed later. You having a laugh, or? We have one surprise that will happen before update 43. What? Before update 43. Are Sai and Adore the worst race heroes? God, where's that tier list that I made? Do I still... Tier list maker. Is my account online? It is. BGD6 Race Hero version 38. We rated Quincy as the worst. Do I still agree with this? Possibly. Possibly. We've used Quincy unironically so many times. But have we? What have we? Or has top 50 used Quincy? And then top 3 is like, yeah, he sucks, let's get him out of the strat, and then just optimize better. Folks, remember, this was, when was this? This is like 25 versions ago, okay? This was a different game back in the good old days of version 38. No, you snipe end of round? Right. What if I did that with like a tower that cost 3 times less, like a Dart Monkey or a sub? Quincy was used in the Impoppable race? Right, okay. Let me rephrase this. Quincy is not useless. but he's the worst out of every hero. Right? That's the vibe I'm getting at. Like, you can immediately disregard anything above D tier. The fight is basically E or below, right? Of who's the worst. And they're just like Adora versus Quincy. I can see this fight as like your only useful reason of getting these is sniping end of round, and I need to not leak to like 5 things on a 1 life race. Right? Those are the 2 things. Because Oben has utility, Psy has utility, and then everything else is just obviously better. Azili is pretty... I don't know why Azili is this high. But still better than this. Sada not SS? Sada would go up 1 because of Gwen being changed. I still would probably put Gwen in a tier of her own. I don't know, this is all... Listen, guys, I don't do tier lists. I'm cooked. All of this could probably be changed. I'm not good at like visualizing what is actually the most useful. This is like a general rough outline, okay? I stand by most of this, of the general area of where these are ranked. Prize is going to be just new map props for the 2.5 on map editor. Yeah. Quincy is cheaper for the same thing? Wait, versus who? Oben? The only reason I would get Oben is for the totem slow, which has been useful in races before. And I would value that more than what Quincy does. Gwen doesn't belong in SS anymore? It's so hard to put her down with the value she gives you. In an MK race, when you can start with her, maybe we're assuming we're not like always just gonna have a Tarn race where like Gwen is immediately available. Maybe in that regard, sure. But Striker buff is surely overrated. I don't think it's overrated, I think it's just very situational. Like, if you have a race that goes to round 80, that involves a lot of spam strats, I think he's a fine pickup. He's a fine put him down, and by the time the full send comes around, you have a Pierce increase. But if you're trying to slot this in on like a round 65 race, even 74, the hit you take early by dropping him is probably just not worth it. And again, if it's a spam strat, right? If it's you're going into U-Jug or Smail, obviously there's just no reason to ever buy him, right? So it's pretty niche. Like, it's useful, but it's just niche. Yeah, full send from 50 plus. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Or if it's like a no-selling race, a lot of mortars, a lot of bombs, like, you know, he has his place. Church down. Strike needs to go up. One is just... Man, we have a lot of opinions. I mean, we could do a tier list. We could do a quickie. Yeah, let's do a quickie. We can speed run it. Okay. Quincy. There's just no universe he's not F. I'm sorry. There's no universe. There's... The only reason I would ever get him is I need to pop 5 reds that are leaking. Or I need to pop a Moab. But you would never get him for a Moab. If you're getting Quincy for a Moab, your time is 7 minutes plus. I'm sorry. Like, there's just no reason. There's no reason. It's not happening. I wouldn't even put him E. Because there's no hero worse than Quincy. Yeah. Unless I hear some insane argument. It can't be above F. Good way to make the tier list would be to tier list heroes for each of the last 10 races. Brother, that's... What are we doing? We're going for each race and looking like, okay, this utility on this race, I mean... You want to be here for 5 hours, maybe. I think you're just wrong. How many Quincy races have we had where top 3 actually meaningfully used Quincy? I can think of a couple, but we've had like 100 million races. Adora is $400 more expensive for the same stats. I think the reason I put Adora here was the utility in sacrificing. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, we've had like 2 races ever where that's actually happened. So maybe I'm overrating that utility a bit much. You might be right on that one. It also pops shards, which Quincy can't. It also has okay clean with Ball of Light, if for some reason we would ever need that. I mean, they might be sharing a spot down here. What's the last sack race we've had? The only one I remember was the Valentine's Day race. And I feel like we've had one more, but I might just be crazy, and we've only had that one Valentine's Day race. One of the best races Tarn has ever made, and we've never expanded on it. Like, what are we doing? Good concept, good execution. Fun race. Never to be seen again. Adora, who's that? No selling? What's that? Azili. We can do Azili. Realistically, Azili is useful for de-reroing 76. Level 3 for Waff and D-Breath for purples. Mainly just to not have Waff get cock-blocked. And also can pop camos in the back if you're on like 2 lives or some shit and you have to send like 24-33 on like a low life race. So utility, but extremely niche utility. I'm talking like... ISOP doesn't win races and get spoon-fed strat by TSP. I don't know if that was true for the first, like, 5 races. But I'll give you that after. Personal ranking for last race in order of usefulness. Gwen, Sada, Geraldo, Ben, Striker, Pat, Etty, Sai, Oben, Quincy, Adora, Azili, Churchill, Dricka. Well, on the dark, okay, I mean, listen, we're not there yet. Relax. Half of ISOP's top 3 the first 5 races, yeah. He got top 3 on Yeah, I don't remember the names. I'm gonna be honest. No, I do. Red, white, and blue. That's, yeah. No, I'm washed at race names. Where's Corvus? He's just an irrelevant hero at this point. Like, he's not necessary. Okay. Azula utility? Come on, we gotta speed through this. I mean, you're obviously taking him above Quincy and Adora. How much so? Average race. I'm going into an average race. Who am I taking? I'm definitely taking Azula over these two. I mean, we can flush it out later. I mean, it's DRC. We gotta get moving. Listen. Ben. Not SS. S with the nerf. I mean, yeah. No, I think I'd still take him. It's either S or A. That's non-negotiable. I'm actually decently impressed by ISAB still being, like, good at the game. Like, most major content creators of a game that are kind of casually oriented are kind of, like, baseline level, like, understanding of a game, right? Think of, like, Tuity. Like, I would classify him as probably, like, baseline level of the game. Like, he's still, like, okay. He's played for probably a fuck ton of hours, but you watch ISAB race, he still has, like, okay micro. He has okay understanding of, like, yeah, we should probably do this and not this, and, like, you know. Which I find is rare in, like, content creators of this, like, genre of video game. Like, imagine SJB racing, right? Or, I don't even know who else makes content for this game. Ben is still S tier. Skimming is insane. His level 3 is insane. He still makes a fuck ton of money. I mean, yeah. The way races work, here's the thing. Like, his money is nerfed, but the way races work is, it's not round by round. It's not round ends, I get 80 bucks. Then the next round ends 20 seconds later, I get 80 bucks. It is, there's like 20 rounds ending. Okay, it's a bit hyperbolic. There's a fuck ton of rounds ending in the span of like 5 seconds. And then your money just like shoots. It's less money, but you're still effectively getting like, you're getting that surge of money, right? You're getting that boost of money. As well as skimming, as well as level 3 being insane. Like, I would argue that like, here's the thing, right? Pat level 3, Ben level 3. You're gonna probably say Pat is worse, or Pat is better, right? I disagree. I think Ben is probably better. In races. A, full map range. He can fuck off anywhere, and if I strategically place my towers, they're gonna get buffed. 2, he actually does something else that's not being useless, but we'll disregard that even. Okay? 3, his downtime doesn't matter. It's free, because most of the time when you're using level 3, you're either going to immediately sell the tower, because you've just bursted down, like, you full sent, you've bursted down the start of the wave of bullshit coming at you, and then you sell to a better tower, or you're selling it, you're gonna sell the tower, is what I'm saying. The tower's gone, right? So it's basically free. Yeah. I thought there was a little bit more that Ben was better at, but it's just better than Pat, right? Like, I would take Ben. If Ben made no money, I would still take Ben over Pat. Because Pat's just useless other than his level 3 in races. Well, I mean, he maybe can start. Rarely, but that's like some CT garbage. I say SJB and we go on a frenzy. Yeah, no, obviously Pat is not this tier. No, I'm saying I'm comparing these two. I wasn't like putting Pat here. I was like, let's compare these two, right? Pat is like down here. And we could rank him. I mean, level 3 is still good. Like, having that damage is still good. Great on Mail, great on Recursive. Not really using it with Roth. Maybe there's some round 40 Moab tech with his slap. That could be considered. You can place him on water, you can place him on land. Yeah. I mean, let's think about this, right? If you have a male race, what hero are you picking, right? Probably Gwen, probably Ben. After the obvious ones, your next best bet is probably Pat. Like, nothing else is doing it for male. Geraldo, probably. Sada, probably. I mean, you know, the obvious ones above Pat, you're taking Pat. For recursive spam, well, you're not taking it from recursive spam, you're taking Jones. Or if you're doing like one recursive into something else mid-game, what is this Mackin debate? I watched a couple of his videos, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I was doing better tech than him for late game like 3 years ago. But the game was also completely different back then, so sure. I'm not keeping up with whatever this conversation is. Okay. This is generally fine. What's next? Brick. Any race where we have to boat full send, which is not many. You don't get ballistic anymore, that shit got nerfed. You don't get it just for reactor. You get it for Megamind clean. Not really. Brick's kind of falling off. Destroyer got nerfed, you don't really get it for that in the context of races. I mean, full send with maybe Pirate? Monkey Pirates, that's good. But how often are you doing that? How often is that the best play? Would I rather have Pat, or would I rather have Brickle? mean, Pat's just going to be doing way more consistency for you. Would I rather have her, or would I rather have a Zealy? Probably Brick. Activate Windows? Quick tier list. Listen, apparently, I mean, I still have to do the race. I kind of want to get through this so I can do the race so I can go and work out, but it might be here a while. Chocolate Run, I take Brick over Pat. Okay, I don't... You just said a random race that I don't have any recollection of. So, we gotta talk generally. Not like the one race 25 races ago. If you have to use water towers, which is basically only Buck, because I don't think you're using mid-path sub anymore. Sure. But like, Pat just affects more things, and it's just better. In general. I'd rather have the slap knockback than mines. Can you play Chocolate Run? Was that the run that was, oh yeah, the tourney run. I was washed. I can remember it? Yeah. That is solid on a TZ round 65 clean. True! Very obscure. Probably doesn't matter, but true. Yeah, let's tighten it up, huh? Listen, this can be moved. Gwen. People are gonna call me crazy, but it just has to be SS. If you're comparing Gwen and Sada, I'm talking on average, what's gonna be better? Not this random CT bullshit where we have no monkey knowledge on like ouch with 5 lives. I'm talking Monkey Meadow, 150 lives, medium difficulty. It's just no contest. You're not taking Sada. And Gwen is the always pick. No matter what. Unless you have hyper-specific restrictions. Like, I have to go to round 100, and I have, like, 2 towers. And I need Geraldo's Rejuve for, like, a Sar Bomba. Maybe. But, like... You get so much value out of the 15-20 seconds you save early. Just instantly going to 21. And that's not even mentioning that you can just park her in the back, throw an Alk buff on her, and that shit leaking is dealt with. It's over. It's done, right? This is your spike factory. This is your everything. And it's your camo. And it's your lead. Now, it's not your purple, but it's basically everything else in the game. Gwen's still better on reverse? Now that she's nerfed and you don't send 25 anymore, probably still. Because you're sending out, what, 21, 22? And then by then you get, like, mid-path tack, druid, some bullshit to pop the purples, and then your second Gwen level 3 is in the back, parked, getting clean. It doesn't work exactly like that, but that's the idea. So this, still think it's SS. This, it's not on Gwen's level, but it's close. You lose the sell value. You can't sell her after. Still good with an Alk buff. Popped camo and purple. Better on no selling. Two Gwens, 2-3 attack plus farm full send. Classic. Psy. It's an E or an F debate. That's pretty easy. Psi utility. We're talking level 3 stun, and that's it. When do they get level, for ceramics? Seven. I'm thinking like 46 tech. You pop the fortified ceramic. But you're really getting it for level 3. Yeah, no, the stun, like, yeah, I say this as, you know, knowing that the stun is still bad. Like, it has no pierce, but it's still a stun that you can park in the back. Like, the only reason that you ever get Psi is, I'm thinking, I have all of my towers down. I have like $500. I need to spend like money on something. So your options are like a base ice, a glue, spamming ice, or you put Psi down and then activate the ability. Which it still saves you like probably a fourth of a second, half of a second. From the front end of the full send wave coming through. So it's still something. Yeah, also the ability isn't instant, you have to wait. So you'd probably full send, put it down. I mean, how long does it take for the ability to come up? Like 2 seconds? It's probably not 2 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds? Holy shit, that is slow. So your full send better be like cubism. Yeah. Psi harms you at the end of the race? Yeah, so I mean, you'd sell it, but that is a nice bit of information. Let's just assume no restrictions and decide who we would pick then. Yeah, my theory is you have to look at this like all towers are enabled. Well, yeah, I think you have to do it that way. You have to look at like all towers are enabled. The best one going top from bottom, most useful in any scenario. But, I mean, it does have its shortcomings because how often is mail going to 100% always be enabled, right? Not. But you have to average it out, right? You have to look at the complete overview. You can't just look at like specific races necessarily. For a quick and dirty tier list like this, obviously, you could go super in-depth, but, like, we're not about that life. Be nice and put it at F. I'm nabbing Quincy instead of Psi. Man, we have a lot of Psi haters here. I mean, it's E or F. I'm going hero-less instead of the bottom 3 hero. How often would you... I mean... Maybe it is an F. It feels harsh to have 3 F-tier heroes, right? Like, are these really all in the same tier? We'll keep her for now, but... Keep them for now, but... This feels weird. Churchill. I feel like I always overrated Churchill. Like... He costs an arm and a leg. He doesn't pop black. You need an alk buff with him. He needs a straight line. When are we getting him ever? It's C or D for me. Good with shards, okay with alk, the ability is nice. Pops camos, pops lead, pops purples. Can target him so he can like clean up the back. His machine gun is okay when it's not, you know, eating up all of your alk buff. Trigger shards, that's about it. Yeah, I mean... I mean, I feel like I would take a Zealy. I feel like D regrowing is very useful on round 76 races. And it costs way less. Like, if I have any tower that is marginally good at early game, I'm never taking Churchill. Or mid game, rather. I feel like I'd never take Churchill. He's useful for, like, one level 3 ability. And then he's basically done if you don't have shards. And super reliant on Alk for that level 3. Like, Gwen doesn't need Alk. Alk helps, but you don't need her, right? Same with Sada. But, like, Churchill, you probably want to Alk him. I'm feeling D. Brickle's a bit better. Yeah, that's my, like, I would rather have the utility of mid-path boat. And it's just the price as well, right? Even with some of these, like, utility towers, what is Zealy? 650? Brickle's like 970. I have no idea. I'm pulling those numbers out of my ass. Well, like, Churchill is like double that, more than double that. So you can plop this down, and even if it does just a little bit, it's still something, right? Like, mines are cleaning up camos in the back. Zealy is, you know, regrow helping. Churchill is like, you're investing a lot of money for him to do nothing for 90% of the time. Churchill is shards proc, yeah. I'm not finding this video, am I? Yeah, it's basically just this. You exist to pop shards and have a level 3 ability. Jones. Above Brickle for sure. Behind Pat. Above Pat. %Pierce. Plus damage. Pierce damage. Pierce damage. What are we thinking? Striker's probably between B and C. B or A. Jones is not an A. Stun first Moab or insides, or first F ceramic. That's a good point. The stun is useful. Stun is useful. More so than him for around 40. Early game, probably comparable. You're not getting either for early game, but they can do something. Bombs and mortars, which we use them a lot in races. This is true, folks. This is true. Level 4 is pretty easy to get. I mean, you start with level 3. You get level 4 instantly. So anything with recursives and mortar. But if you're, let's say you're full sending with 2 recursives, Pat's gonna do more. Well, old recursive maybe, new recursive probably still, but less so. And then you're gonna sell all of them to buy a tower, right? You're not like keeping them around the whole game. Now, if you're spamming bombs and mortars and you can't sell them, obviously Jones is better in the long run. Because level 5 is more useful now, too. Level 7 doesn't matter. I agree with this. I agree with below Pat. At least B. I'm taking him over Brick. The 25 Pierce buff alone on any race that goes round 80, round 83. Any no selling race is probably good because you're spamming a lot there. Recursive spam, mortar spam. Yeah. Not F. I'm gonna be honest, Oben has changed a lot since I've last used him. Apparently his level 5 increases the Druid of the Jungle range. Rambles last 25 rounds now. Doesn't really matter in races. I mean, it really just is the instant totem. That's really all you care about. There's no other rhyme or reason. Like, totem, boom. I mean, it works. It does its job. That could be half a second to a second of uptime. Or of time save. Get a nice intersection too. And he's dirt cheap. Yeah, I saw the Oben buffs, but I don't think they really affect races. Would I rather have Oben than Azalea or Churchill? Average race. Put your mind into an average race. Low D, high E. Insane utility with the new totem buff. I mean, right, but like, are we alking our Obens? There you go, this is the race meta. We still can't get 3 totems. What do we do for 3 totems? No. Barely. Is this actually useful in chimps? I feel like this sucks. Like, why would you ever need this? Well, this is not non-copyrighted music. Didn't know about that one. Okay. I mean, we're basically... Yeah, E... Listen, whatever. Etienne. I'm thinking... a solid... He's a one-trick pony. He's a one-trick pony. He gives you camo, you receive camo. You receive nothing else in return. I mean... It's the dilemma of... On a race where you have 0 camo, he's pretty good. On a race where you don't need camo, he is F tier. So, how do you split the difference? Life-saving? Doesn't need it at all. Low C? I don't know how to rank him. He's literally... Yeah, 1 of 100 races. I mean, honestly, Azalea's more useful. He can maybe give you some clean. Open over Churchill in 8 of the last 10 races. You have a point. I think we're overrating Churchill. You never, like, if you have an okay early game, like, imagine you have this, right? Imagine I have Spolt. Why would I ever get Churchill? When this exists, 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 like, why would I invest 1900? Whereas I could get this, and then full send, and then pop open in the back. You have a point. Etienne, it just doesn't. It gives you camo, that's it. The fact that out of the past million of races, we've used him once or twice? No. He still gives more utility than these, but I'd rather drop an Oban down for that totem than drop a useless Etienne down. Why would you not buy another thing? The shards proc? I mean, it feels too convenient to put him in A. I think that's where we had him last time, to like fill out the gap. But he's definitely better than these two. It feels too top heavy. But there is a sizable gap, right? Like disregarding this, I 100% agree with this. You have your upper echelon of good race heroes, and then you have like, you know, like usable. But there is sort of a gap. I don't know if Geraldo fills that or if he's with everyone else up in S tier. I mean, now that we have hotkeys. Now that we have hotkeys. I don't know. The mail is really good. The glue is really good. That's about it. How much do you value those two items? Camo's pretty good as well. Oh yeah, this is an interaction. I mean, that's a pretty good buff, too. That your camo, like, innately sees camo if you just camo patch Geraldo. That was one of the downsides of it before, is that you couldn't give it camo. But now... that's actually kind of huge. Like, unironically, that's pretty huge. If you just, like, don't want to deal with camo at all. Pickle now affects Geraldo mail as well. That's right. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. You lose out on a lot of early game. Because you buy him, and then you might also buy Quincy. The Quincy NFT. But you have slow. I mean, you have the slow utility, right? Plop, and you're getting more than 2 glues, by the way. You're getting 3 or 4, because obviously end of round exists, right? You're getting 3 or 4, well, not 3 or 4. You're getting 2 or 3 mails. Pickle, camoed. Rejuve is nice for certain cleans. I mean, hell, we've used fertilizer a couple times too. I think he's A tier. I think he's A tier. Or S tier, rather. NFT is garbage on race. The round has to end, right? So it could be stuck at 600 for a long, long time. And it's also yeah. I'm trying to think like when we use NFT. Yeah, I mean it still makes a lot of money, but it's not just like put it down and then wait 10 seconds and then sell it. Like it has to, with the way races work, it has to cook. You have to wait for it for the round to end. Only if you rush it early. If you're ending rounds really quickly, well, in a race, you're sending out a lot of rounds, right? As long as a very early round is still out, that's the baseline for what it considers the round you placed it on. So if you, round 10 is long as fuck. I don't even remember. It's like super long. So if you're getting it before round 10, and then round 10 ends, and then, I mean, 11 through fucking, I don't even know, 20 whatever has already ended, then you get that big bump. So it's kind of interesting to play around. I don't know if we've ever actually like had to really dive deep into it on a race, but it's been used, so it's been used a lot when we have Geraldo. Because a lot of times, if you can afford it, even dropping it before a full send, you're getting a couple K, right? And you're not spending your money on anything else in the full send anyway, so I think he's S tier. I'm feeling it. You lose out on a lot of early, but you gain so much value mid-game and late game if you need it for cleaning. This gap feels weird, but maybe it's just how the cookie's gonna crumble. There's a large gap between Geraldo and Bat. Yeah, that's what I assumed. Like, clearly there's a difference if you're good at, like, racing to identify. And in a tier list, you always feel weird leaving big gaps, but I think it's just how I think it's how it's gonna work, because these are just the good race heroes, and these are like, eh. I mean, you could debate on the F and the E, right? Switch this around. I don't think we're having debates on Gwen. You could debate this ordering, for sure. And you could debate Churchill, I think, is a candidate to be moved. Add Corvus? I don't give a shit about Corvus. I don't even know how he functions. He's probably B or C if I had to guess, but I'm talking out of my ass. I have no idea. I think this is fair. Sawed up Ben Geraldo. I think that's what I had it right before. Early game is insane. Mid game, less important than early. Late game, mid game, still less important than mid game and early. And then huge drop off. Okay. You know, we still haven't done the actual race review, huh? What is the title of this? It doesn't tell me. Huh. BTD 6. How much does the new tier list change? Let's find out. Why is this proportionally weird? Oh, because there's a gap. Sure. No, don't go to my Twitter. How do I just look at my... We value Sodom more. We heavily devalue Churchill. I don't know what I was smoking Churchill B. I don't know what's going on there. Pat, same spot. Jones went up, that makes sense. Buffed. Zealy devalued, makes sense. Oben stayed the same. Yeah. What spicy things you post on Twitter? I post 0 on Twitter. I follow 2 accounts. Both for like NFL shit. For like statistics. Alright, where are we at? I have first and third. I don't know where second or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is. Who cares? KLTD. Radio station ass name. Okay, Dark Castle Reverse. Bit weird, bit funky. You have like 2 centimeters of track length to play with. I uploaded? Listen, I click whatever is linked to me. Okay, first and third. Okay. So, out of all the towers we have concluded that Boomer is the best. We really only have this and, what, Midpath Druid? Makes sense. I guess we have Waff, but you would never get Waff. And then, the double Boomer play. No Druid, no Shards, no Waff, double Boomer. Slowly inching to 35. Holding the 36. Okay, we do the 36. $37.9, sub 38, more glaives. I thought this was a top 50 wizard play. I'm surprised to see it here. 45 before first shards. 1 shard proc, doesn't kill it. Second shard proc, we don't need a second shard proc, it just dies. Double shards into 50. Hold to 56, only 55. Interesting. Into 60 and a farm. Into second Boomer. We holding on the reactor? No reactor play. 80 send. Almost put Quincy down. Getting farm. No village sack to the farm. $83 after Spirit. Okay, that doesn't reach Glaive Lord. That village. We're getting... Okay. Does everyone just share strats now? What is this? Shared my strat with X, shared my strat with Y, and then Z copied X, and then Y shared with W, and then, like, what's going on here, folks? I don't even see what happens. I mean, the game is over after you get Glaive Lord, right? Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the bottleneck of this race is round 40, I would assume. Because, I mean, we sit on this 39 for a while. Oh, maybe not that long. Maybe not that long. This early WAF feels rough. Like, I understand the whites exist. What are our end lives? We're ending with a, what is this, 147 before the full send? What this shows to me is that we probably could have leaked more. Like, I understand that you have to play for, like, the Moab might pop late and you leak a ceramic so that you want to have the consistency of being able to tank it, but, like, I don't know. I feel like this is another example of, like, just get luckier, right? Like, you have to pray that you have god timing on the shards for the Moab, and then tank the camo so you get shards earlier. Like, what would have happened if you would have replaced this with the shards, and then after the shards, placed the wizard? Because you still need 42 camos, right? Like, obviously, you need camo. But, could we have not delayed this? Like, instead of WAF shards, we go shards WAF? I mean, clearly somebody tried that, and it didn't work. I'm just curious why. Or if people just didn't push the RNG enough. WAF is to trigger shards? Right, but can't Boomer do that? Or is Boomer just too terrible at triggering shards for that reason? 42 camo is brutal? Yeah, I understand 42. I'm just wondering, could you not get it after the first shards? I mean, obviously it's worse. Like, clearly you're leaking more, you probably have more RNG, but, like, surely you could grind that out. Also, did nobody try bottom anything? Because my intuition was that bottom was better here. Like, my assumption is that the balloon hitbox originates closer to the bottom than the top, right? I mean, you can't see, but... But it's definitely not equal. Like, it looks equal, but it's not equal. Because of the way, like, the 3D plane is mapped onto, like, your screen. You can't send faster by getting shards before WAF. You leak more. Yeah, obviously you leak more, but we have we have 145 lives. Like, again, a lot of it is, like, I can see people ending the race with, like, 10 lives, right? Because of random shit leaking. But, I mean, we could push it a bit more than this, surely. WAF ticks so much it triggers more? That's true. Well, it triggers more consistently. Race also ended early? I mean, that's true. Why would you want to leak more with something that doesn't let you send faster? I'm just assuming that it let you send faster. Like, intuitively, I would think that. Because you could send the Moab faster. And then barely before the 42 ceramics get through, or the 42 camos get through, then you would waff, right? But I also played the race for like 10 minutes, so I have no idea on that one. Also, the D-breath just seems weird. I guess it's for camo. I mean, yeah, you need to beat 51, that's true. But what if we got... I mean, it helps for Moabs, I guess. It just feels weird to get D-breath for non, like, clean situations. Or, like, non, camo only, like, in the very back of the map situations. Yeah, I mean, D-breath increases waff and it procs, and I mean, it's damage. I'm just surprised that it was the best damage. Versus, like, committing to another more earlier, or committing to the reactor, or committing to the farm. I don't know. Sure, okay. This clean looks a bit sloppy, but I'm not one to judge. Well, I am, because I like to optimize clean, but... I mean, we almost... I mean, this looks scary, but, like... I mean, you could still tank it. I'm very shocked that we have both a Spirit and a Glaive Lord, and a Moab is getting through. Like, it kind of just waltzes. $239.36. $240.26. Got it. Where are we at? Round 12. Already a deviation. So we're playing for more... We're playing for better end of round here early. Let's see how that works out for him. $19.6. You're getting in a second faster with one less round sent. I guess what matters is when you get this, not when you get that. Apologies for that. Crosspath matters more than the base. Because you're not really... You're basing your send-off when you get red hot, right? You don't give a shit about the top. 22.13. 23.1, 22.1. Still a second ahead, but you've sent less rounds. Oh, he also goes, am I crazy? Yeah, I am crazy. No, I'm not crazy. He goes different positioning first boomer. Sure. I could... Ah, this... Look at this. We get the Waff crosspath earlier. And because it takes a second, you get the money. Wait, does it actually hit camo? That is frame perfect. I mean, actually frame perfect, right? I mean, you're talking frame perfect. Okay, shards again. How long do we wait? feel like that was more delayed. Bottom second shards. I wonder if that was because he looked and he saw that this was fucked on his placement, or he intentionally would always do bottom shards. Because this looks like, if I'm eyeballing this, I probably can't fit a shards there. So I might not waste my time and just commit to lower shards. Or he just always does this and I'm crazy. Farm before. I already forgot what this run was about, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, this is D-Breath before farm. A lot of small changes here. I like that I mean, 69 lives, nice, but also I like that we're using them more. We are really pushing on the lives here. When did we get... Why is there Quincy? What the fuck is this? Why did we put Quincy down? Please explain. Okay, Quincy has popped a blue. Quincy has popped a red. Quincy has popped, like, 2 yellows. Quincy has popped another, like, 2 reds. Quincy helps with the full send survive. Alright, let's see it. Quincy has popped 2 regrows. Quincy has popped 2 more regrows, 3 regrows. Quincy has popped a blue and a yellow. Quincy has hit a Moab. Okay, I'll give you that explosion. I mean, he did... does he snipe this? He doesn't snipe this. The boomer does 99% of the work. The F Moab. He's tickling it. He's tickling the F Moab. No, this is... No. I 100% disagree with this. This is a case where it's get luckier and don't buy Quincy so that you have $600 more to afford Glavelord earlier, right? This is like top 50 strat, right? Unless maybe I'm slandering too much, but I feel like you just get luckier and not have Glavelord League. Like that's racing, right? Or you put an ice down, right? You time an ice when a fortified Moab pops so that the glaive ricochets like guaranteed on it. Like Quincy isn't doing anything for this ceramic, right? This is all Glavelord. I like the range though, so that he snipes it better. This race was limited time. Okay, now I can see that it's fine. The coping is coming out. We are fine. Okay. I'll accept it. Bottom shards was intentional. Okay. What crosspath is this druid? Can I get some? It's the good one. Okay. I take back my Quincy slander because we got the good crosspath. Okay, okay. Well, I don't take it back, but I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. You just win the game. Oh, a lot of shit's going on. We have a Papana, okay. Getting a little bit fancy with the clean here, I guess. Time the Papana, okay. Love to see it. Very tight 240s, interesting. Perfection is the enemy, yeah, good quote. Well, I mean, apparently there's more races. If you could link me them, I would watch them, but otherwise, I have no avenue of getting them. Well, that's not true. Could just look at my subscription box. I don't know if I'm watching a par 7th place run, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if that's... I mean, it's, you know, 7th place. Come on now. 6th place TSP again. I mean, you gotta up your game here. We gotta at least be top 5, right? This is 4th. We could peak 4th, I guess. $240.28. I've already missed the start. 13, top boomer. $16. I feel like we're leaking a lot. Or like we're chasing a lot. 22. I don't remember the reference of the timings of the second boomer. Very delayed 36. Waft first. Right shards. Does he get bottom shards or does he get another left shards? Bottom shards? I figured that at least one bottom would have been good. We leak a fortified. Which is fine, because baby, you got lives, you might as well use them. We have Quincy again, okay. Don't know when he was placed, but... 78, we hold 79. I'd probably send 79 now. I mean, I'd rather have the money. And I send 82, because why not? I don't think we really need to hold 79. I like that play. That Monkeyopolis makes a holy shit. The sell 2 spirit, okay. Removing these, I guess, for consistency on clean. In case, like, a ceramic leaks. Okay. I like the farming. Not completely necessary, but it feels like we're almost leaking the bottom left here. We are about to... Okay. I'm gonna need to rewatch what just happened there. We got AZ. We sent 90. We used Vine Explosion. I mean, this feels a bit sketchy. Like, this feels a bit sketchy. I mean, I respect the plan. Feels like it had a high chance of, well... It just feels a bit sketchy. Is all that my concern would be. Like, the 90 send early is a bit weird. Like, because you can wait till, like, the last, like, 20 seconds, right? To pop that out. I like the AZ, I guess. It just feels like you're, you know... You're leaving yourself a little bit vulnerable here, if your micro isn't fast. I lost top 5 because I got sniped by someone who copied my strat? Well, that's what you get when you put your strat out there for the common folk. I mean, this is nice, though. I mean, yeah. Looks clean. I'm cold as an excuse. If you live in the northern hemisphere in winter, I can sympathize with the cold argument. Okay, what's my takeaway from this race, huh? Kind of unique. Clean wasn't insanely free. Like post full send was, or yeah, like stabilization happens like. I feel like once you get Glaviolard, you're probably just fine. Like, you should probably be 100% success rate here, right? On this race. You should be fine. Like, this should be stabilized right here. But it wasn't, like, free. Like, you still had to actively play the game, right? Which is, it's nice. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. When am I getting top 1 again? Probably never. I think I've fallen too behind on the times. I don't know. If it's like an old school Smail race, maybe. But I don't know. I might be cooked. I might be done. We'll see. Never read this, did I? Boss Rush team event. Over under on this event completely flopping. Heap of backend and multiplayer team related systems. Alright. I'm sure this this leaderboard will be perfect with no possible issues. It's crazy the stance change that NK has had on mods. I remember back on game release, you couldn't even mention, right? Like any post, any question asking about mods on the subreddit was a removal. Like an instant removal. Any Discord question, just removed, right? Like you just couldn't talk about modding. Like it just wasn't, it didn't exist. It was just never mentioned anywhere. Like it was literally Voldemort to NK, right? You just never mention him. It's just like completely 180, which is good. Like obviously, why wouldn't you want modders to like mod your game and give like more content for free for people to like be interested in, right? Just like a weird stance they had earlier. And this is eventually where they're going to take the game, obviously, right? Like eventually in however many years, when they stop updating the game themselves, you provide, or you go to community support, which is perfectly a valid way of handing off a game, right? To keep it alive for a long ass time. I have no idea if the BTD5 scene had like extensive modding. Or even if BTD5 at this point in its life relative to BTD6 was more or less popular. For there to be a need to have like a BTD7 released after 6, or if they just continue with this forever. In my opinion, it feels like 6 is probably more popular than 5 ever was. I think 3 years after the launch of 6, 5 was still, like, you still saw 5 in memes, you still saw 5 referenced. People were like, oh, BTD 6? I had no idea. Because most people played it on, like, cool math games when they were 10 in their computer lab, right? But I think it's way more mainstream now. And I hardly see anything referencing BTD 5 anymore. Yeah, NK was, I mean, it's just, their entire TOS was like no mods, right? No game modifications. Which I don't know if that's like a very old school approach that they had as a company back when they released all their other games. Is BTD 6 growing at all? I have no idea. I'm not in any, like, Zoomer circles or have Zoomer friends that I can, like, extrapolate on. Like, are people still talking about this game? I mean, if you look at Steam charts, clearly still getting played at a decently steady rate. 10k, 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 11, 11. You're maybe averaging a bit more. I mean, again, the pandemic skews a lot of this. Like, this is peak pandemic years, right? And maybe co-op, I don't know when this shit was launched. A lot of people are playing on Epic Games now. Yeah, and there's also mobile. Like, this is only a fraction of the player base. I would bet... I'm gonna pull a number out of my ass, but it's gotta be... It's gotta be like 10 to 1. That seems insane. It has to be 10 to 1 on PC to mobile on this game. Because it's just such, like, it's just the quintessential mobile game, right? That, like, every 12-year-old kid's gonna have. Every 10-year-old... Like, it's... When you think of BTD 6, you don't think of, oh, I'm going to play this on Steam. Your initial thought is, oh, I'm going to play it on my phone, right? Like, not to me, but to probably most people. So this is only a fraction of the total player base by far. And on Epic. And mobile. Just hope it's a team event where you get rewarded for being a team player, unlike CT. I mean, this is what they have to do. They have to make the leaderboard system function properly, right? Like, they're batting 1 out of 3 on their current game modes for having a functioning leaderboard that, like, makes sense. Like, CT is completely fucked on the leaderboard. Bosses kind of are okay, but they still don't make much sense with integrating co-op and single player, or co-op and solo being the same medals for like 2 player, 3 player, 4 player. So that's their first hurdle that they need to clear. And then the game mode actually has to be good. We'll see if that's true. Can you make money off of modding in this game? Like, is there a system in place for that right now? I don't think there is, right? You would have to integrate it in with the Steam workshop. They said that they've wanted to do that, right? I feel like I've seen them state that. You can sell mods, right? But like where? People do that on Discord. I feel like you could make some money if you're good at modding this game, because like it's a big enough game where like there's an audience for this type of shit, right? Selling mods is against TOS. That makes sense to me. I just wonder if they're eventually going to have a way to properly do it via like Steam Workshop. Someone told me to do this earlier. Which one was it? This one? Defeat phase. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even think I have a medal for this. I don't. I mean, you can see how washed I am before I leave. You are so inclined. What's the deal? It's just infinite? Okay. Why are there camos? Oh, because it's phase. You just farm and beat it as fast as possible? What do you mean? How high can you get before it exits? I don't understand the, I don't understand the... I mean, I can leak this, right? Wait, how do farms work? The rounds are just constantly going? I'm getting $5. What? Can I? As many times as you can. Oh, so it's just like the boss one that we had before. Right. Don't farm. How am I getting income? Oh, popping. Oh, okay, so it's literally like the other one. Okay, okay, yeah. Oh, I slayed that one. Right. Okay. I mean, surely this is like 220 Dartling, right? What is like the cheapest starting? Can you afford this? There's no way you afford that. No, this has to be good. This is 1 damage with the laser shock. With the camo. You get money from popping it. Okay. You don't. Oh, it needs camo, of course. That's fine. Okay, this is super slow. I'm testing the waters, okay? That's not it. That's not it. It's not the one. What else has camo early that's not terrible? Fighter plane? I can't afford fighter plane. I can get the bomber ace. I've seen worse. There's no way that this is good. I wonder how much money you get after this. $1,000. You're having a laugh at that one. Camo bonus on O2O Ace? Well, you're speaking some facts. How do I not find the strat immediately? I've never played this boss. I've never once completed a boss against this. Even in CT, I don't think I've ever done it. All I know is that it teleports shit to the entrance, or it teleports shit closer to the exit. It needs camo to pop it. I don't even know if it gets, like... I know you need camo towers to kill it. But I don't know why. Like, I don't know why you can't just put a camo village down. All I know is that that's like, not optimal. Well, fuck it, brother. Get this. Bomber Ace is probably better than Fighter Plane. Oh, it probably is. Especially if you're microing Bomber Ace, right? Surely. Well, we'll just save up to that one. That's fine. Wow, this is great. How much does this do? That's pretty not great, but we're committed, so. It blocks Camo Village half the time. I mean... I don't know how you snowball this effectively. Like, I feel like I should be snowballing faster. Than whatever's happening right now. There's no way you commit to ODS, right? What if you do? But then what? I mean, what are you going into? What towers exist so they're not dog shit? I see people spam snipers all the time. Because of this. Right? Or maybe... like, they spam this. It will snowball soon. There's a reason you have so much time to reach 20 or more. I mean, the reason is that, like, 5-year-olds play the game, right? So they have to make it, like, low. Alright, well, fuck it. I mean, our micro is just, it's gotten degraded. Now what do you do? I mean, you have to get a tower that has camo, and that's not dog shit. Whoa. I'm feeling like this is the way. No. How much money do we have? Whoa. 36.62? You know what? Let's commit to it. Why not? We'll see how this one does. Debuff. I'm getting, what am I getting, a brittle for this one ODS? This is, I can already tell you this is unoptimal. What I'm doing right now. Saving for this. Unoptimal. Not the play. But that's fine. I mean, you know, we're just relaxing, okay? We're just relaxing. We're having a relaxed time. Because once we get this P-cell, we will be soaring. Just you wait. You can also sell the ODS for the Pacell. I think we're too committed now. I think we're literally about to get the money anyway, so it just doesn't even matter. Okay. Placed this P-cell where I cannot give it any village buff. That's a good idea on me. Could Alk buff it. It's a possibility. Rover got the tier 1 strat used in every unranked guide ever. I've never beat this boss. I've never watched a video of someone beating this boss. I don't even know what this boss does. I'm clueless, man. Sticky Bomb. Now, you know that you make sense. You make sense there. It's used for every boss? I haven't played a boss in like 3 years. Maybe not, maybe 2 years. 2TC? I mean, if that's how the cookie's gonna crumble, we could. We do have to save up 80,000. Seems a bit much. Now we diverge. What do we diverge to? It's a great question. I don't know. Don't think about it. Okay, I thought about it a little bit more. And I've concluded that it might be GG. How long is this gonna take? It's gonna take forever. It's so slow. It's okay. I have to go and do... I have to go and work out. I cannot sit here for another hour. Let's just assume I would get insane scores, okay? World pausing like it's a race? Okay, listen. That's my one stream every like 3 months. Final thoughts? Update? Pretty so-so. Nothing really changed for races. I mean, what else is there to say? This race, pretty cool. BTD6, still thriving. Stay safe out there, folks. And I'll see you in like 3 months for update 43. Adios, adios, amigos.